Welcome back to episode 8 of There Be Dragons. When last we saw the party, Charlie Roughhouse had committed his first ever act of property theft in the pursuit of secrets relating to the strange events occurring in Oreme. Tracking the mysterious owner of the newly christened Roger, the automaton armor discovered in the chest that Charlie stole, the party discovered a hidden passage in a mausoleum that led deep beneath the streets of Oreme into ancient passages long since forgotten. Upon discovering their pathway blocked, the party sought an alternative route that led them into a chamber sealed by a mysteriously constructed door, activated by fire produced from Hrosh, Skairn's companion. Inside, the party was met by the visage of a skeletal halfling, missing a hand. This octagonal room has an ambient glow and no discernible origin of that light. Other than the door that you came through, the only ways out of the room are the 5 doors on the opposite side from where you stand. The archway, which is between you and these doors, is on a small step that raises it about a foot above the ground, and this is where the skeleton missing the hand lies looking plaintively towards it.
I remove the jar from my pocket and say, I think I know whose hands this is.
I wonder what will happen if we put them back.
I'm tempted to make this experiment. I'm just wondering what we think this could mean. Charlie, for your information, we may have encountered the other end of that portal in a wizard's tower, in a sort of labyrinth, and I am not certain what the connection would be. This is very confusing. Any thoughts to the group?
Do we have any chicken wings left?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, we have chicken wings.
Do we actually?
No, they would have rotted long before.
Those ones have gone, and I don't think we've got any. From memory, there was a statue at the other end of the portal, but there's not a statue here.
About which I am glad.
Yeah, that thing was weird.
It was creepy.
Was the statue the one that
Clarence played to it.
Cool.
It
Not the one I'm
didn't do
thinking.
anything. We all had a rest.
Can I check my perception?
Yes, you may.
16.
16, so -1, 16, 15?
No, 16 is -1. It's 17.
Okay. You just realised that this entire central area has something transparent over it. It's very hard to see. It's almost hemispherical over the top of it.
So over the archway?
A giant dome?
No, it looks, well, to be honest, it looks organic.
So this is over the centre of the room where the archway is?
Yes.
But not extending to the walls?
No, just over the central point.
Okay. Could I poke it with the tip of my battle axe?
Sure, if you want.
I retreat to a safe distance.
So Rhylind has noticed this transparent field.
Yeah.
We would go in, but not very close to it. We'd still stay
Sure.
a cautious distance away. But yeah.
Sure, you could approach it and stick the half of it in if you want.
I'm not sticking it in, I'm just giving it a little poke.
Okay.
To see if it reacts.
Are you sure you want to get close to it?
Can we go around it? Is there any need to go close to it?
Yeah, I can stand 30 feet away from it and just see what happens when I put Mage Hand through it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I was going to say, I want to see what happens if someone pokes it.
Yeah. Try and get the rest of the body. I have more jars.
While you guys are gonna harass that Joe, I might just myself go and inspect the other doors just in case we need a.
I'll join Charlie on this one.
Okay.
So I'll do an investigation check just to sort of see if the doors have any auto-locking mechanisms or anything like that that might lock us in here if it does decide to.
I will investigate them for magical sort of traps and sort of or activation systems.
Just to be clear so I know where everyone is, you've all stepped inside the room, you're around the doorway, you guys are peeling left and right?
Yep.
Okay, which side are you going, left or right?
I'll go left.
All right.
Yeah, we'll go left.
And
We're
everyone else
sticking
is...
together.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to stick together and probably wait and see what they say instead of triggering.
We're going to
anything.
hold off on the poking for a minute.
Not forever, though.
And
Okay.
just, I want to, we'll basically have a look at all of the doors, investigate with Arcana or whatever, and just check that everything's okay.
Sure.
In case we need a bomb.
roll me your investigation.
19.
19 for just a standard investigation?
That's probably for the best. Let's just go with that.
Okay, sure.
Mine was 3.
All right. These are very...
These are doors.
Yeah, these are very... yeah, they are. They're nice-looking doors, though. They're very ornate. They do appear to have on one side an axis that goes into the ground, and it looks like it possibly has a mechanism that attaches to it, and it's on the left-hand side of the first door you come across. Yeah. That's what you...
So it looks like you put something into it?
No, it looks like it actually it sinks into the ground, and the axes, rather than it being like attached to the wall, is attached to the ground. And it looks like there's like a groove in the ground, and it looks like it swings outwards for a start.
Yep.
And it also looks like it's a mechanism that possibly controls that.
Okay, cool. But that's just sort of putting weight on the door. Do I get a natural shift you would from the door?
It gives and cracks open a little bit, and you are immediately assailed by, I guess the best description would be like a wet fart in a jar.
I get out my jar. No.
But it moves, and you also note as it does, the other doors also move at the same time.
So I'm going to push the door open and perception check down the hallway. 19.
Okay, well, for a start, it's not a hallway. You've actually opened up into what looks like a large expanse. It's very dark. You can't really see what's in there, though. The only light seems to be coming from this room.
Do I hear anything?
You hear a very slight sloshing of water. Almost like the trickle, like down rocks, I guess, hitting water. Yeah.
I can't see what's down there, so we've got options. The dark room, which I might have something in there, or the room with the...
large jelly that definitely does.
Yes, the goober.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Can we poke the jelly?
With the mage hand.
With the mage hand.
Okay, so we go and stand near a door just in case, because that seems like as long as you guys think it's
There's
safe.
5 of us.
Yeah, and then...
Ooh, smells like wet fart.
Sorry.
That was him.
It's like that really pungent, musty smell.
Yeah, that was him.
Frosh, was that you?
Don't blame it on someone that can't speak. Good crush.
And then once we're there, I'll cast Mage Hand and attempt to poke the film that we see.
What type of magic is it? It is a cantrip, but has it got a class for it?
Conjuration.
Conjuration. Okay, great. So the moment you prod the ooze with the tip of your mage hand, the ooze immediately reaches out and latches onto your mage hand and sucks it in and completely dissipates the magic. And now everyone roll initiative.
Yep.
24.
19.
18.
16.
15.
Awesome. Okay. Charlie, you immediately notice this thing start to quiver, is the best way to describe it, at the touch of this spectral hand, and you watch it engulf it, and it immediately starts to roll forward. It's almost like watching someone tip jelly out of a plate. And as it does, the skeleton inside it roils with it and actually bends backwards in a very non-chiropractic friendly way.
Charlie's going to apologise for this and push the door open again, letting the fart smell in. And for my action, we'll hold the door open for everyone.
Okay.
Do all of us get through it before the blob gets
Yes,
there?
everyone can move through it.
All those in favour of bailing from the blob, please say aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
In front of you is a large dark room that is being slightly illuminated by the ambient glow, now allowing you to see more detail. It's flooded, the water is murky, it's brackish, and the smell just lingers in the air like stale rubbish. Just outside the door, there is a small landing that immediately descends into the water a few feet. You can also see dimly in the distance a semi-submerged hallway, and on either side, columns holding up the ceiling. But they are more cavern-like now, with mineral buildup, and looking more like the sides of some kind of naturally formed cave.
Can I just check? So the door opened inwards into the slime room?
No, outwards.
Outwards? Okay, is there anything just on the ground that I can sort of...
Block the door.
block the door? Because I don't want the slime sort of...
No, you'd have to use something from your pack. The jelly has actually started to approach you relatively slowly.
We close the door.
How big is it?
10 foot by 10 foot?
Okay. So Charlie is going to continue to hold the door open. And I guess I'll just use a full round action to take defensive. So just in case it does get here and I've got full defense.
Okay, sure, you use your action to use dodge.
Scan, your turn.
I'm going to get my belaying pin out
Sure.
in preparation for blocking the door and sort of wedging it underneath the door to make the door harder to open.
What is a belaying pin?
You can use it as
club.
a club. Handy. I probably shouldn't have taken it.
Okay, so Karen, your turn.
I'm going to
Sorry,
get
Rhylind, your turn.
my shield up and ready and my axe out and
Right.
stand prepared to defend myself.
So I assume that you're sort of taking a position outside the doorway in a sort of a circle, semicircle or something?
Yeah, actually, I'll probably roll my bow, to be honest.
Sure.
Probably best to shoot this from a distance if I'm going to try and inflict damage.
It's kind of slow.
Scratch that, get the bow, notch an arrow, ready
Sure.
to fire.
Nezor.
Well, I can mage hand again. It's a cantrip. I can do it as much as I want.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
So I'm going to get around to if we're facing it, what would be our left, and poke it there.
Okay. All right. You poke it, and as before, it sort of stops for a second. As you poke it, you notice that tendrils sort of come out from the side of this ooze and immediately just engulf and dissolve this mage hand, and it's gone.
Because I have mage hand too.
Sure.
Can I cast it, but kind of guide it around to the side of the big jelly blob and poke it so it goes in a different
Sure.
direction?
Just to confuse the poor little ooze.
Okay.
Can I just have a neat little look around to see if there's any?
So
yeah,
in,
like
the, in the
everyone's-
big room of water.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
In
Is
the
that
in the auditorium.
Look into the water, possibly.
8.
8. The thing that you've noticed is the light seems to be coming. The light that was in the other room, the ambient light, seemed to be coming from the ooze.
Glowing
Like a
ooze.
bioluminescent.
Sort of, but it actually is very reminiscent of sort of firelight, I guess. Because there were no like lit sources of light in that room. You could still see what was in there.
Yeah.
And it seems to be just emanating from this thing.
Okay.
Cool.
Sweet as.
Huh. I'm happy.
The ooze proceeds forward towards the group and reaches the doorway. Then a pseudopod lashes out and grasps for Nezor. Does 24 beat your AC?
Yeah.
This pseudopod lashes out and basically reaches for your hand and engulfs it. It feels like your hand is dissolving. You can start to see like small welts and bubbles pop up. Take 6 points of damage, acid damage.
It's not very nice.
Yeah.
Gross.
However, you're very quick to shake it off. But the damage is done. Your hand is got these lovely little welts on it. Back to the top of the order. Charlie, it is at the doorway. It has not gone through the doorway.
So yeah, I'm gonna close the door, and you've got your belaying pin out. So I'll just sort of put my hand out, grab it, and yeah, give it a good old wedge under the door.
Great. Do me a strength check to make sure that you've wedged it in. It's not going to be difficult.
It's only a 7.
7?
I will perform a strength check if necessary.
Sure. Okay. So, you close this door and then jam the belaying pin in, but it just doesn't quite fit.
Yeah, that's why. So I'm going to do another strength check to it.
Cool.
That would be an 8.
Okay. Not much better. It seems to be there, and you can feel resistance against the door, pushing against the door.
Oh dear.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So,
Come on, Ron.
I step up. 21
21.
Kicking
Great.
shit. She's good
Yeah.
at that.
So how do you do it?
with
There's this
my foot.
Okay, so Charlie closes the door and jams this belaying pin into the corner of it where the corner of the door meets the floor, and it just sits there. Then Skairn comes in and sort of does like a half-hearted shove on it as well.
I did better than he did.
Yeah, by 1. And then Rhylind comes in with the roll of her eyes and just stomps it with a big dragon lady foot, and it sticks into the corner quite well and wedges, and you notice that like the masonry on the wall sort of crumbles a little bit as it's actually being forced into this position, and the door seems to be secure.
Should have hit it with my voice.
That's how we do it in our house.
I offer Rhylind a fist bump.
I accept.
Well done, lady.
Okay.
Thank you, Charlie.
Tom, your turn.
I'm gonna move back just in case this thing comes through the door again.
Sure. There's about, just so you're aware, there's about 10 foot between you and the water, and you will be going downstairs after about 5 foot.
Is there any metal in the door?
No, it's made of stone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna move back and ready in action. I think I've got nothing else
Sure.
I can add to this.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I go to the kind of so 5 foot away where the stairs start, and then
Yeah.
have another look and see if I can see anything in the water?
Absolutely. You can see that there is possibly down below the remains of like a rug or something, like a really shitty, ratty piece of cloth that's draped on the floor. It looks like it's been there
A while.
Yeah, it's more moss than it is cloth, but you can see that it's dyed these sort of really rich colours, and they're a little bit indeterminate because of the colour of the water.
Hey guys, doesn't look like there's anything in the water except a really old rug.
Old rug, you say? Let's go in the water.
So, as you're discussing the water rug, from the crack beneath the door, you start to see the ooze piling under and starting to spread out across the floor.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's sort of like when you run water underneath a locked door.
Slowed it down.
It's taking a while to come through, but it's there.
I like the door at in the end of the puddle option.
Do we have to go through the water to get to it?
Yes. It is almost completely submerged. There's about a foot clearance between the top of the passageway and the water. What's Charlie doing?
Charlie's going to test the water with his foot.
Sure, it's water. It's very, very cold.
Yeah, I've walked, so I haven't started swimming to where we're
you've
going.
walked in.
I'm like,
No, it is like stepping into Skairn. It's very similar to the kind of temperature of water that you'd be familiar with up in the north.
So I'm
it's
not
very cold.
too bothered by it?
No, but it's still very cold.
Okay.
Charlie will go away.
Do we have any fire? Can someone try? Hey,
Prestidigitation
Nezor.
makes fire.
you've already pissed it off. Do you want to just try lighting it on fire and see what happens?
I believe it's Karen's turn.
I technically haven't done anything yet. I could shoot it. I've got a pistol.
I reckon if Rhylind can get around to another door and shoot it, bow and arrow it, whatever, just to see what happens, or get into the room to have a look
while you
at
discuss all this, the ooze is probably about a 1/3 of the way out. It's starting to pile itself around.
I'm going to draw my pistol and shoot it.
Okay, great.
Pistol plus 4, so 10.
Yeah, you hit.
I hit.
Roll damage.
I rolled a 0, guys.
There's 10.
So that's 10 max damage.
Max damage. Okay, so what's the total damage you've done?
It's just 1d10 piercing.
Plus 2 for your proficiency.
Oh, yes, so 12.
12? Okay, great. You do 6 damage. The shot flies into the ooze, and much like ballistics gel, just goes into it, and you hear... It's not so much an audible sound as it is like the ooze quivering really fast. Okay, certainly did not like that.
It didn't like that, guys.
But the bullet stays inside. Great.
Cool. I'm casting heat metal on the bullet.
Sure.
Oh.
What's the type of magic?
Transmutation.
Transmutation? Okay.
Choose a manufactured metal object.
Sure.
You cause that object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell.
Okay. Great.
No saving throw, no nothing. 2d8 straight up.
Okay, so
Nice.
That's handy.
roll damage.
So it's a 7 and a 4, so it's 11.
11. Okay, what's the DC for the con?
13.
13. As you heat it up, this ooze starts to bubble and boil, and then almost like, I guess like a child spitting out food it doesn't want to eat, it just kind of ejects this thing from its body, and it lands in the water behind you.
With a satisfying hiss.
Yes. Okay, Angela, your turn.
So where is the jello? What is it doing?
It's about a third of the way through the crack underneath the door. You can actually start to see the skeletal fingers of the skeleton start to peek out from underneath it.
Yes. How many ranged weapons you're not overly attached to?
I mean, I have a short bow, but it doesn't. Like, I'm assuming the arrow is wood.
Wood, yeah.
So-
And metal.
The head of the arrow is metal.
Yeah.
Can only do it once, it's a spell slot.
Well, honestly, I think I'm just going to retreat to a safe distance.
You're in
Possibly
the water
slightly-
as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, well, I'm going to stay at that distance, draw my bow, and just chill, really.
So, Ooze's turn. The ooze now, it basically has taken the space of the entire area around the door, and it's pooling around the lip of the area where the stairs would go down. Very large, and it's actually starting to... Its top seems a bit top-heavy, like it's sort of looming over you at this point. And it's going to reach out again towards Nezor and lash out with the pseudopod that it had before. 24 versus AC. Okay. And it does 4 points of acid damage as it lashes out and attempts to basically grab you around the neck. It slashes your face. Back to the top.
All right, we either need to, go for the door or go around.
Yeah.
Or attempt to kill it.
I'm liking the go around option.
That's not a bad plan.
Do you have any sort of means of attacking it?
I can punch it with my fists.
Maybe don't do that.
So this is the plan. I'm going to make a splash attack.
Okay, so you go.
So I'm no.
What was that Pokemon?
May I just? I'm defining this as an attack with the water,
Sure,
right? So I'm flicking some water at it.
Yep.
So I'm attacking the creature.
sure.
It's dexterity.
Yeah, it would be for that.
So 21.
Okay. The ooze gets wet. It runs down the ooze and starts pooling at the bottom.
Yes.
It's like oil. It's like water on oil.
So because of my feet,
Yep.
I've attacked it. It can't make opportunity attacks against me.
Oh, I just got what you were doing.
I'm going to
Nice.
look to Tom, to Nezor, and go, if I may, and sort of pick you up,
Good idea.
and then run 50 feet.
Okay. Run 50 feet around the edge of the thing.
Sort of just go,
Skirting it possibly
Yeah.
to the next door.
basically holding myself between Nezor and...
With 50 foot, I would say you could get at least 3/4 of the way around the side of this thing.
Yeah, so I basically
You get
just,
to the third door on the opposite
I
side.
go, sorry, and
Yeah.
just like sprint to the door.
The
Like,
mental image there is delightful.
Yeah.
This half-clad boxer goes splash. Eh. Picks up a halfling and ditches it.
Yeah.
once I've sort of finished my movement, I'll put him down and apologize.
Scan, your turn.
Yeah. I will be doing something similar. I will be shooting it with my pistol
Okay.
and then running past it as I have attacked it. This is good. I like this. And following them around.
Do you have an ability that prevents you from taking an opportunity attack if you shoot the thing?
Oh,
I have one which is mobile. It gives me an extra 10 feet of movement, and also when I attack things, they can't make a attack.
Don't they have to be really close to me to get
Yeah,
an
they have to be
opportunity?
adjacent, and this is adjacent.
It's adjacent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Strictly speaking, it's not fully in that square. Well, it's not in its full square size because, if you recall, this thing is roughly 10 foot by 10 foot.
Right.
It was big enough that when it's like sloughed itself out to this sort of dome shape, it was able to cover 15 foot
Right.
comfortably.
Is it all through the door now?
It's like 2/3 the way through.
Is it the body or the skeleton?
The skeleton is currently the bits that are too large
It's
to
just a few
fit through. It's just
small
collections of bones and things like finger bones and probably some like ear bones
Vertebrae.
and stuff. Maybe some tarsals, metatarsals.
Yeah.
Vertebrae. No, vertebrae would be too big.
Carpals, metacarpals.
So basically, there's a skull and a rib cage on the other side.
Yeah. No, the arm bone was too large. Like this is a very small gap between there.
So if I try and go around it at this point, I
It
will
gets
get
an attack and
attacked.
opportunity.
Okay.
Yes.
What if I try to swim away?
Yeah.
It's
if,
in
you
a,
if you use the disengage action, your movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks for the rest of the turn. However, if you disengage, the only way to get around it is going to be by going into the water.
so I can get away from it and get around
Yeah.
it and get out back onto the ground and run around.
Yes. You use the action disengage instead of your attack action by the look of it. And then you have your movement speed, which is 30. So you have 30 foot of movement. It's probably going to take you 10 foot to get around this thing without getting directly in contact with it, which means you've got 20 foot of movement, which means you'll basically be at the central door. Whereas Charlie and Nezor are on the far side of the third door.
Okay.
That would be across. So the fourth one from the left. If that
I'll
makes
do
sense.
that then.
I need to.
So from where I am, what are my options in terms of where I can go?
You can go on the water, or the water. But if you go on the water, it's a staircase, so your movement will be reduced.
Yeah, just like, so can I wade rather than swim? Would that be easier for me?
Sure, but I mean that's basically the movement that you're making. It just means that your movement is reduced because you're wading through water.
I'm armed with a shield, so I'm...
Yeah, just because you have an attack of opportunity there is no guarantee that the thing will hit you. Well, I mean, it depends. You would be close to it, so just be aware of that. What do you want to do?
How far can I throw the gunpowder?
It would just be a basic dex attack. We happy with that?
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to do? So what's...
Okay, so I'm going to run away a bit.
Okay, so as you start to move away from the thing, the splashing in the water, you seem to actually attract its attention.
Oh, fuck.
The towering, hop-heavy goo turns slightly in your direction, and as it does reach out and try to grab you. However, it rolls a 2, so it doesn't hit.
Having cunningly dodged the attack,
Nice.
thank you. I'm going to throw my gunpowder at it and call out to Nezor. Nezor, could you set this on fire for me, please? 16, that'd be dexterity.
Yeah, no, it lands on with a nice satisfying plop. Okay, Nezor, it's your turn. You are on the other side
He's
of...
a long way
Yeah, you are a long way away from this thing. You are about 45 foot You do not have line of sight.
Here's the problem.
Hold your action.
Hold your action, he'll run me
He's
back.
pretty much your legs at this point. That's just...
It's stuck to it. It's not going anywhere.
I'm readying my finger.
The ooze is upon you.
Has anyone gone into the water?
You've run around the area where there's the steps. That's about it. Like, no one's gone into the water.
I'm going to go into the water.
Okay.
I'm convinced nothing is in there.
Yes, as you do so, that ooze head sort of snaps to your direction, detecting movement, and again makes another pseudopodish attack.
But disengaging.
Yep, sure. So, yes, Abella paddles out into the water and just sort of...
Hating every second.
Yeah, it is.
But I'm safe
it
right
is
here.
Ice cold. Like, this water
Also, I
is...
hate swimming.
Yes, this water is like getting into a bath of ice. It is cold. It is the ooze's turn, and the ooze, with a little bit of a... It fully constitutes itself with a few odd bits of bone floating in its now reconstituted form. And it actually it's sort of half in the water, half out now.
It's not bothered by the water.
No, and it starts to move ponderously around the side towards where Rhylind is positioned. As it does so, as it moves, the black powder gets absorbed into its body. It's sort of rolling upon itself. And
So it's inside the blob.
It's inside the blob now. That's its turn. Back to the top.
Nezor's holding his action. So, realistically, if I dashed, so I can move double speed, I can just hold Nezor and sprint towards the
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's the best.
Okay.
ooze.
Burn it, Nezor, burn it now.
Well, it's 2 feet in, so we've got to be like right up on it, 8
Just
feet.
to clarify as well, I'm running as close as he needs to,
Sure.
and then I'll sort of
Which is, I believe, 10 foot.
turn my back to it. Like, I'll be between Nezor and...
Yeah, still holding my guitar from when I cast heat metal. Just do a little prestidigitation sting and light the
Sure. All right.
Black powder.
Roll me 4d6 damage.
4d6.
Good plan, guys. I'm going to give Rhylind inspiration for that.
Nice.
So 10 damage all
Oh,
up,
shit, yeah.
which is unfortunate.
How much was it?
10.
10 damage total?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's explosive fire damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so it does 20 damage.
Yeah.
Great.
Let's have a throaty battle cry.
Good on three of you.
Just like
Work, team.
that sting and just like point at Rhylind.
I've run away from it. Bella has swum away from it, but you guys are doing really well.
Okay, so do you want to hear the good news
Yes.
Dead.
or the bad news?
Okay.
Bad news is we get hit by the explosion, I'm guessing.
No.
Gobbets of little. Sure, tell the bad news. Go with the bad news.
Go
first.
bad news first and
Okay.
then good news.
All right, well, that's kind of rolling the same.
Good news is
So-
it's dead.
No, the explosion rips a hole in the ooze, and it sort of does like a spasmodic, like really quick vibration. And as it explodes, you actually see like little blue sparks sort of fly off inside it. And it's just sort of these gibbets are flying everywhere, but there's a large chunk that sort of was in front of where the explosion was that lands towards Nezor and Charlie. And it sits there for a moment and then starts to move.
It basically had a baby.
So yes.
Congratulations. Let's kill it.
Yep.
Okay.
Was that the good news?
The good news was the big hole you put in it. The bad news was the small bit that you blew out that wasn't like all the other bits of gibbets that have sort of painted the area is moving now.
I'd like to stick my head around the corner and draw a bead on the little one. I would like to draw my pistol and shoot.
Sure.
I probably watched this whole thing. I'm applauding. Yeah, this is good. 21.
21. Okay, yeah, that hits. Roll me some damage.
That is not as good. Yeah, so 5.
5? Okay. Yeah, the bullet goes flying into this thing and does 3 damage.
So things round up, that's nice.
I'm being nice. Yes, so this bullet just sort of, again, does that projectile bullet gel into it and just sort of sits there and then starts to sink because of the weight.
You're welcome.
And it is now Rylind's turn. Rylind,
So I can't reload and shoot, can I?
you can reload this round and then shoot.
The next round. Yeah. I do have my assassin's daggers blessed by the fury.
Cool.
Okay, I'm going to advance on the small ooze and hit it with my axe. I'm going to try and cut that motherfucker in half. 2.
Plus,
Plus 5, 7.
you hit.
Oh,
They're
yay!
not very good at dodging.
D8. Oh yeah, I get to use a D10 if I use both hands.
Roll me a d10.
10!
Cool. Okay, so yes, you bring this thing down and cleave it in half, and it squirms and then sort of just becomes... Have you ever, again, using the jelly analogy, have you ever run a spoon around inside a bowl of jelly to the point where it's just like rubble Yeah, it sort of like the effect of doing this has sort of just completely destabilized whatever kind of internal thing it's holding in place, and it just sort of collapses and becomes like this slime film
jelly.
that's fuck jelly.
Fart. Fuck. Oh my god.
Fuck jelly is something entirely different.
It's not
What
too.
is
It's a
fuck jelly?
very
White
slimy.
jelly.
Yeah.
From my part of the water, I say, yeah, Rhylind, chop that baby in half.
Cool.
Chop it.
Chop it.
Make its mother watch.
All right. These things are asexual. Okay. Cool. So it's your turn.
Well, look, I think I'm going to swim towards the arch and just have a look.
Sure.
Okay. So
if there's
you
anything.
move. I believe you move 30 feet. So you
Yeah.
swim another 15 foot towards you're about halfway across. Or if you want to be pedantic, a third or 3/5.
Great.
Okay, so the ooze with this big gaping hole, again, sort of rolls over on itself and it moves.
Like a puppy.
No, it's more like a flop forward and then kind of like reassembles its shape and then continues to move in a rolling fashion. And you know this because you can watch like teeth moving around in the ooze and it's smooth. So it's starting to approach Nezor, which is 10 foot away, and
It completely misses because my rolls are shit.
and up to the top.
Me. I'm going to take a defensive action. Basically, go full defensive whilst holding Nezor again.
Okay.
Basically, in my arms. I'm baby Bjorn in him. Like,
They're spooning it so cute.
And Nezor is completely fine with this.
I'm totally cool with this.
He's up for this.
Embrace me, you giant muscly man.
Nezor's just like,
This is one
okay.
of the weirdest mental images.
Don't forget, Nezor is also
Nezor
dressed.
is a very oddly dressed halfling.
Yeah.
and I'm a half dressed.
And you are glistening with sweat. So yeah, I'm gonna throw my spare powder horn. How close would you want me to be to make a good accurate throw?
Just roll a dex check. I think you'll be fine. Oh, okay. Now I have to roll the dice. So give me 1 second while I do that. Okay, the horn goes sailing into the water.
No, fucking
On the upside, if you recover it and then dry it out later, it might be usable.
It's actually black powder becomes more effective as a paste.
Okay.
Rollins. Like the one I attacked. Is it dead for all
Yes,
intents and
it is a goo.
How-
And there is some slime still on your blade as well.
How far am I from the big blob?
You are 10 foot away.
I give a dirty look at the man who just threw his black powder into the water. I put my axe back in its holster and shoot it with my longbow.
Great.
That is a 6.
Pass.
5. Oh, what's your dexterity bonus?
+2.
+3?
Still hits.
Oh, +2. Sorry, plus.
Oh, sure. So 1d8 piercing and I rolled a 2, so...
No, it's okay. So you do 1 damage.
Well,
The arrow is now half wedged into this thing, and it's sort of got like a jaunty little feather popping out of it.
You made it fashionable.
I really hope I can get that back.
The feather, when it touches the ooze, starts to bubble and hiss, and it starts to dissolve.
Well, shit.
Here's a thought. It's now got wood in it. Do you want to set the wood on fire?
Don't think that would do much to it.
Okay.
Couldn't hurt. Well, it could. That's the point.
I've got a different plan.
Okay.
How deep is the water that the
It could go. So basically,
well how
for
deep is the-
Skairn, it goes up to his belly. For you, it would go
That's
up to
fine.
your throat.
whereabouts is the horn of black powder?
It's landed on one of the steps in the water nearby.
So it's not that far away from me.
You could move to it, but you would be adjacent to the slime.
You could mage hand.
That I'm going to mage hand it. Yeah, basically move 25 feet away from it. Yeah, and use mage hand to get the horn and with a look give it back to Skairn.
Thank you.
Sure. Great. That's your turn.
I shake it.
Yeah, it's
Going to
Abella's.
continue to disregard this and
Swim.
swim. Just going to keep on swimming.
Okay, you can see a dark passageway. It's not. You can't see much down there.
She does have dark vision, so
I do
Yes,
have
but
dark
even
vision.
so, you can't see much down there. Like the water is basically, you can see about 5 foot into the water, so you can see your own body. But beyond that, you can get like some faint outline of how deep this thing is. I would say like it's about 20 foot to the bottom of this. It's a pretty the water. So it's a pretty like from what you can tell down the actual passageway in the 1 foot thing, you can see that the roof travels down to a point, but beyond 60 foot, you can't really see much.
but it's 60 feet long.
Yeah, it's easily.
And it doesn't appear to disappear.
No,
it's
it
not
just seems to
sloping
be
down.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Is that all I can do this turn?
Unless you want to do like another perception check or something to see if you can discern anything else.
Yeah, can I do a perception check sort of down to see
Sure.
if I can, I don't know, see if there
I'll
are
let you do that as a free
glints
action.
or anything on
It's
the
a
floor?
really tall tunnel.
Yeah.
Well,
it
it's
is
an
an-
archway.
it's
It's
got
an
an-
exit.
Ah.
I'm very focused on my swimming.
Cool.
6.
Yeah. No, it's the water is still too brackish. Back to
Lucy's turn.
So Ooze moves towards, well, all three of you, I guess. You're all sort of.
Well, I moved a bit further away.
Oh, that's right. You moved back. I believe you just stood in place and used your longbow.
Yeah.
And Charlie, you're in place as well, I believe.
He's shielding
I'm-
Nezor that's not there.
Yeah, so Nezor's, I've sort of got, I'm full defensive and Nezor's gone,
You'll still get the advantage, but this thing is going to attempt to roll over you.
Ooh.
So,
what was its movements? Because I was...
15 foot.
Oh yeah, cool.
It was hampered by the fact that it was too big, but then you blew a big chunk off it and it reconstituted to the 5 foot
Yeah.
size.
Oh, so it's not as big now.
No.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. No, you blew a big chunk out of
So
it.
it's attempting to roll over me.
Yes, which is an engulf action.
If it's an action, it still needs to make...
Yep. No, it's a DC check for you to avoid
Oh,
getting
okay.
engulfed.
Sure.
So, roll me a dexterity save.
Okay, well that one is +7, that's 24. And that one is only
Sure.
17.
Okay,
24.
so where do you move to avoid getting steamrolled by this thing?
So it's rolling towards me.
It's rolling into where you are.
Yeah, so I just...
Step back?
Shift back.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So it's moving, and that's its turn. So yeah, it's right up in your biz.
Yep.
Back to the top.
Okay, how's this thing looking?
It's looking much smaller, and it's got like little tears in it, and it looks in fairly rough shape.
I'm just going to attack it. That is a 16.
Sure, that hits.
Excellent. 9 points of damage.
What's that considered? What kind of damage is that considered?
Bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning.
So, as a monk, when I use monk weapons or unarmed strikes,
Yeah.
I can make a second attack.
Sure.
It's a 14,
Sure.
and that's the same again. 9 points of damage.
9. So what's the total amount of damage you've done?
18.
18.
And then I will spend a key point to make an additional attack.
Sure.
14 hits again for... That's only 6 points of damage. So
6?
24 total.
24. Okay.
Go, Charlie.
Great. So yeah, you come up and you do this flurry of blows and and it sort of does that thing where the impact bounces it back because you're so fast with your fists, and does like an impact shock through the whole thing. And as you do, bits of the slime start to fly off the edges of it, where the stress points just don't have any more give. But as you do that, the ooze lashes out, and I want you to do me a strength check to make sure that
Is
your
this-
final fist that you've thrown doesn't get caught.
Does this count as an opportunity attack?
No, this is a reaction to you attacking it with a weapon.
I'm going to... Can it make a... Okay, whenever you hit a creature with one of your attacks granted by your flurry of blows, you can choose one of the following effects.
Sure.
And the one I'm following is it can't make reactions until the end of my next turn, so it doesn't do that. And then, because I attacked it, it can't make opportunity attacks, and I move back 20 feet.
I'm going to draw Clarence's hammer.
Right.
And I'm going to take a good old swing at this as well.
Great.
I'm going to
Sure.
charge up next and stand next to Charlie on this one. There we go. It's a little bit better. That is 12.
Great.
Then it is 11.
11. Great. You do 22 points of damage, and the thing splatters on Clarence's hammer and dissipates into its little rubbly form. And it is dead.
It's a magic hammer.
It did 22 points of damage.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because it doesn't like bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You just taught me that, and I was just like, oh, cool. I have the perfect thing for that.
I didn't realise how much damage I had done.
Yeah.
It was
you
like
didn't.
24 points of damage.
So
Presumably he did 48. How? Damn, this thing was hard.
Am I able to retrieve my arrow?
yes, the arrow is on the ground along with the rest of the horrible, slimy, gelatinous goo, which gives off it's almost like electricity running through it for a second, and then from it a burst of sparks, and then fire, sort of like gouts of fire, as though it's igniting some kind of odor, and then just sort of like the color of the transparent kind of gel goes opaque.
Does the smell in the room change?
No,
The gouts of fire, are they getting rid of the sulfur in the air?
no, the smell's still ever present.
What about the glow from that goo? Is
Yeah,
that
it
gone?
extinguishes.
I say, Crush, don't touch that.
I imagine.
Did someone light up for the blind people among us?
Sure. Not bad, guys.
Good job, guys.
I just didn't want to touch it because I'm sitting there the whole time going, it's going to burn me. And it's like, hey, I'm in your face. It's like, fine, whatever.
It's like we probably could have done that a lot quicker.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
Between all the stuff that we actually had, this would have been a lot easier.
After seeing what happened to my hands, it's perfectly legitimate.
Yeah, all of these decisions were good decisions, but the end result was kind of cool. Hey, Abella, it's dead. Turns out a hammer is a good way to do it.
Oh, that's good to know. Good to know I wouldn't have been any use anyway.
Hey, look.
I don't have a hammer.
Can you see anything? And does someone want to light up?
Look, I think I'm just going to go a little bit into the tunnel. Like a little bit.
So you're going to go ahead, you're going to split the party? Is that what you want to do? You really want to do that?
Oh, no. Because now you've
Here's a
said
tone
that.
in his voice. It's a trap.
Does anyone want to come with me?
I'm quite a good swimmer, but I'm rather encumbered.
I reckon we'd go back and check out the other room.
Oh,
The original room. with the
Let's check out the original room. No, wait. Let us check out the original room. Can I send... can Hrosh see in the dark?
He has dark vision, I believe.
Oh.
60 foot.
Yeah, he does. Can I send him up to check out the roof?
Yeah, if you like. It's not particularly high. It's probably about, 10 foot above you.
All right, okay.
Fairly low ceiling for where you are.
So I
but-
can see it.
Yeah, it's again.
What does it look like? Is it like a cavern or is it a building?
It looks like it was possibly a building at one point, but it has got stalagmites.
Right.
Stalactites.
So a long time.
Yeah, it's been here. Stalactites don't.
No, they
Going-
take millennia. Yeah.
They're pretty sizable size. They're not dipping into the water or anything, but they are fairly significantly sized.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. And like I said, the water seems to be leaking in through the roof.
Well, I'm happy with that. I swim back to the party.
Yep, cool.
And then we go back in. How's the belaying pin looking?
It's wedged into the corner of the door.
Oh,
Very, very deeply. It's fine, though.
I
Can I
did
yank
a
it out?
very good.
I don't know. Can you roll a strength check?
okay. No, I can't.
So yeah, you yank on it and go, and it doesn't work.
Hey, Rhylind.
The smell, just to clarify, is it like a musty, mildewy smell, or is it like a poopy under a sewer smell?
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Gross. I swam in that.
In the cold. Are you warm? Should we worry about that?
It was very cold. You're probably
Prestidigitation, you can change the temperature.
I was about to say, chill warmer flavor 1 cubic foot of non-living material. I can warm your I can warm your armor.
Warm the water on in her
Warm the
clothes.
Warm the
More
water
like a
in her
sphere
clothes.
of air around me.
non-living material. It's not really material. It's air.
What's the clothing?
Oh yeah, you can warm
Warms
her
the clothing.
Yeah, I'll just warm her
Warm the
clothes.
clothing, or
Just
should
to,
it just steam?
Yeah.
It's like you just peed yourself.
Now you're in.
That is actually a good solution to this.
Well, you're not wrong.
Now you're in really humid. A really
Oh, no,
humid
it's
square.
smelly.
This was better.
Yeah,
Better than the freezing cold.
You do whiff a little bit.
she always did.
Well, like from the water?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, the water is smelly.
And now
And
I'm
now
smelling.
so are you. I don't know
Anyway,
my-
so we heading back to the other room.
Yeah.
Check out the archway, just see if there's anything.
I can't unveg the door, apparently, because
Well,
I'm
there's
weak
a-
as shit.
There's a
So
bunch of doors.
There's like 7.
there is every other doors. Yeah. So
do you want your belaying pin?
I would like my belaying pin back. It was useful.
I heave a heavy sigh and go over to retrieve the belaying pin.
I sort of want you to fail this roll.
17 plus 3, 20.
But you did roll. You rolled a 19 to put it in there.
No, she rolled a 21 to put it in there. So you yank on it and it doesn't move, but it's probably not got much give in it if you pulled a little harder.
How about if I join her?
11 plus 5, 3. 14. Plus 2, 16.
You yank on the belaying pin and it's wedged pretty damn tight.
There's nothing stopping us from just keeping on pulling.
Charlie, having a go.
I feel like a less ornate dice would be easier to read.
Oh, no, I only got an 18. It's fine.
Yeah. No, the belaying pin is stuck fast and is not coming out anytime soon.
No.
I'm going to try. No, 15.
No, it's stuck.
It's stuck. It's now proper.
I'm going to
It's
move,
proper stuck.
move to the other door and just go,
18 plus 3 is
I'm still helping her.
21 plus 2 is 23.
Still stuck.
Motherfucker.
No, Karen, I don't think it's happening.
No, the more every
It's
time you failed a
permanently
check, I've
wedged.
increased the DC.
Motherfucker.
Just keep rolling.
I don't think a natural 20 will do it at this point.
We all are natural 20 motherfuckers.
Like
Okay,
nine rolls
what's
in.
your bonus?
Plus 3.
And my too.
So 25.
No, sorry. It's stuck.
What if we form like
by,
a train?
by trying to pull it out and like edging it in, you've actually kind of wedged it in
Made it
deeper.
worse.
And
That's fine. Look, it's a
Yeah.
stick. I can find any other stick. That's fine.
yeah.
I have numerous other weapons. It was just useful to have that chock of wood.
yeah,
Yeah, while everyone's sitting there like, I'm just going to walk around to the other door and just go through.
no, you're going to push on it and find that it's not going to move.
Because the belaying pins.
Because they all open at the same time.
Hey, Nezor, could you burn it? It's wooden. Just set it on fire.
I was...
I don't
I'll
think
make a
prestidigitation works
strength
that way.
check.
Sure.
15.
No.
For the door?
For the door, it's stuck fast.
Gonna jump in the metagame. I think
Well,
that
no,
really
you know
wants
what?
us
You,
to go
you
through.
push in. No, it's not metagame. Like, I literally went, okay,
He
you
just
guys are
thinks
going
this is funny.
I just think it's funny because, again, like every time you failed your check, I've added 1 to the DC.
So it's up to about 30 now. Just burn the pen.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. It can only like it's wood. I can light a candle on a bonfire.
How
on
about
wood.
then we build I don't know.
You guys have flint and tinder.
You know how we have axes?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Like, we could just chop
if
down a
everyone's
door.
trying to think
No,
about
that's
clever
wrong.
ways to do it, I'll walk over and just start punching the belaying pin.
Hey, I mean, it worked
So
on the
I'm doing damage to it. So what's the health of this belaying pin?
Yeah, Matt, what's the health on the belaying
Probably
pin?
4.
It's probably taken quite a bit of pounding from all the pulling we've
Yeah.
been doing.
I did 9 points of punching damage to the
Sure,
belaying
now it's splintered into the corner because you've been punching it. So it's now wedged in there even worse and cracked.
I'm like, pow!
Okay, but now there's only a little bit of it left. I can prestidigitate that little bit.
Sure, if you want.
Okay, we're gonna
You guys are
prestidigitate the
really
little bit of
fixated
wood.
on burning this.
No, we want to get to the other fucking room.
Breathe on I breathe on the flames to make them burn
Yeah,
fast.
while he's doing that, I punch above them to create more wind right next to your face.
Or you've got a little bit of gunpowder. Just
No, it's wet.
Yeah, that'd work. Well,
All right, fine. No,
if you dried it off.
no. Paste of water, gunpowder paste is actually quite good. So I just sort of lump of gunpowder paste on.
right in the wedged bit, and then we light that.
Okay, sure. And the belaying pin burns, and now you have a big sooty corner of this door.
But no belaying
But
pin,
the belaying pin has burnt down to a charcoaly nub.
Excellent. So now we can
I
open
push the
back.
door.
Okay, do me a strength check.
Again, 15.
Okay, you get some give on the door.
Good.
Okay,
Not burning.
Door made out of stone.
Can me and Charlie push together?
sure, go for it.
I rolled 2.
You know, I think me swimming was more productive than this.
I think that really was. Just
You now have.
Hang on. I pull the door. Because they
It
don't.
opens. You fucking idiots.
I don't think that's fair. I was just trying to open the door. I wasn't actually specifying I would like to push the door.
But you were
No,
trying to
the
get
only
the pin out
time-
and he was
The only times we ever said was the door was we pushed the door. Your belaying pin is smashed.
You win
and
some,
on
you
fire.
lose some, huh?
You have a little lump of charcoal if you want.
I think that was.
Don't you have a fortune in gold? I'm sure you can get another belaying.
Yeah, no, it's fucking heavy. I really need to find someone to sell this to.
Not the charred remains.
No, not the belaying pin. Although I will be taking the largest piece of
I'm
belaying
gonna-
pin I
I'm
can
gonna
find, and it's
investigate.
going in my fucking jar.
Sure, you have about 2 inches of it.
That's fine, in my jar.
You're going to investigate, and I'm going to do an Arcana check on the.
I'm going to have a check of this portal.
Yeah, on the
and,
portal thing. Just
Sure.
to-
Okay, so who's rolling what? You're rolling an Arcana. Okay.
That is 10.
You can immediately tell that whatever magic this thing had is severely dissipated. Almost non-existent to kind of there and then back again. Like,
Yeah.
you can...
Like, if we threw something through it, it would have a 50% chance of disappearing or going straight through.
But if you put your hand in, you don't want that hand to not be there anymore.
Yeah. The assumption you could make from
Dib's not putting my
what
hand in.
you've witnessed, and obviously with the destruction of the slime, is the slime was feeding off this.
Something occurs to me is our initial purpose in going into this room was to chase a hooded figure, right?
Yeah.
So where do we think he went?
Well, obviously down the tunnel.
He's down the
You must
water
have.
tunnel.
Or
Because he couldn't have gone through the jellyfish thing.
Well, he could have. Maybe if he could
yeah.
control it.
I doubt it very much.
Yeah.
There didn't appear to be a lot of controlling it, but my feeling is probably the tunnel. And I
the other
suspect
thing
his
is-
armoured figures, the water and so forth, that all of that points in that direction. We just felt like we should check this room out before we
Fair
proceeded.
So we should probably head back in there and figure out a plan to get both of
nothing
you through.
interesting in the room beyond the portal.
You can do it, like, if everyone would like to roll and investigate to see what they can glean from the room, you're more than welcome to.
I will.
Investigation +1 +2, 16.
10.
8.
14.
8.
Nezor, you suddenly kind of dawns on you that the central door seems quite significant in the way it's designed, whereas the other ones either side of it seem a little bit less so, and then the ones either side of those even less so.
Which is what we went through.
Yeah, but other than that, the walls are very Spartan. There's no... It's nicely hewn stone, but again, it was probably nicely hewn stone a couple thousand years ago. There's dust in the corners, and it's like just natural decay, I guess, over time. And as I said when you came in, like, it was quite dusty.
Can I check for tracks in the dust?
Yep, you've already walked through some of them, but you did notice them when they came in and they went through those doors.
Did the slime disturb any of them? Did any of them go towards the slime?
No, they kept a reasonable berth.
Okay, so we could have just ignored it.
All right.
All right, let's go for a swim.
Pretty much.
So I'm going to give Rhylind Bear's Endurance, which gives her advantage on Constitution saving throws, if that's what it is that we do when we're swimming.
It'll be athletic checks to do anything in the water. It'll be constitution checks to see if you're able to keep up with paddling through the water with weight attached to you.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
So anyone who's carrying anything heavy, which to my mind is Skairn with the gold and you with the armor.
So 3 bars of gold is a bad thing. Is 1 bar of gold enough to slow you down?
They're still pretty heavy.
Well, the question
Why don't I just carry one? I am the swimmer of the group.
how good of a swimmer are you?
I have a normal movement speed in water. I'm a mariner. I'm good in water.
I'll tell you categorically, like 3 gold bars is very heavy for you to be doing while swimming.
Mm-hmm.
If you lighten the load amongst 3 other people, they would still have to do constitution checks, but it wouldn't necessarily be as difficult because it's not as heavy. So you could potentially lighten the load by spreading the gold around, or you could just leave the gold behind if you're worried about it.
I am not doing that.
I'm just saying, like,
I reckon we can spread it around and save ourselves a bit of work.
If I asked, say, Abella and Charlie to carry a gold
Yeah.
bar each,
All right.
I was
I'm not
gonna-
gonna ask Nezor. I feel like that is unnecessary.
just
The elf would be better at. Oh, no, that's fair enough. Okay, well, I'll ask you to carry one and you to carry one.
I can if you like. Yeah, I was
the
going to
gaming
offer to
is
carry at least your pack and whatnot as well.
Is the pack the encumbrance? I mean, if
wearing
we're going- if
heavy
we-
armor.
Actually, no, if we have time now, she can just take the
Well, you
armor
can take
off.
the armor off. You're still carrying it.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving it behind because
no, but just be aware if you take the armor off and then you suddenly get into combat without the armor on. So
I'm still going to give you advantage just because your check is going to be higher than ours.
yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, how badly will Charlie be encumbered if he takes like the gold bar and something from me?
I could carry your pack, and your pack and shield, so you've still got your weapon and a bar of gold. Because I'm literally wearing pants, and I have like some.
I'm glad you're literally wearing pants, not figuratively.
He's figuratively and literally wearing pants.
But that's all I've got, so I'm not encumbered even mildly. So a pack and a bar of gold, I don't imagine would even encumber me still.
Cool.
Right, Scan's got a bar of gold, Charlie's got a bar of gold, Nezor's got a bar of gold.
Yeah, so I've just kept my weapons.
Yep.
Yes, so you're still armed and armoured, and I'll just carry all of the other miscellaneous stuff you had.
Thank you, Charlie.
No worries at all, ma'am.
And just so it's clear, before we go, I cast Enhance Ability,
Yep.
Bear's Endurance on Rhylind.
Sure. Great. What's the duration of that?
1 hour.
1 hour? Okay. You have 1 hour with advantage to your any constitution rolls. you need
She
to make.
also actually, so she's also got 2d6 temporary hit dice, just for what it's worth.
Alrighty, let's head into the water.
All right.
So we start swimming towards the archway.
I know I'm an ice dragon, but fuck, this is cold.
Reminds me of the waters back home. Fucking cold.
I'm not happy to be experiencing this again. Yes.
Hirosh has actually made a nice
Sort of
nest atop
perching on
your
my head. Yeah. He does this a lot.
Ah.
I'm still not grateful.
Gonna continually cast Prestidigitation on the water around me to warm it up.
It feels like we've all peed in it.
I want to swim next to him and pee.
I want to swim in front of everyone and fart. Yeah, so Charlie is
So now we're in the tunnel.
swimming as fast as he can because, you know, this is a good opportunity for training. So,
Bye,
Well,
Charlie.
if you do that, you're going to rush ahead. So,
hey, as in I'm basically swimming.
He's keeping ahead.
my question is basically marching order. Who's in front of who? Or are you all? Because again, you can fit 2 abreast, basically.
Yeah, so I
I'll
mean,
be swimming up ahead with him because I'm a strong swimmer.
Can I make a recommendation? 2 in front, 2 in the back, me in the middle, so that I'm in a good
Yeah,
position. But
yeah.
if anyone goes under,
Yeah.
would it not be better then for you to be right at the back? Because it'd be easier for you to see if
Yes.
anyone in front of you goes under.
Well, 2 people behind.
strategic
Like,
thinking.
oh, she's driving.
If we're looking out for each other,
Yeah.
like unless both of us go down at once and make no noise.
Also, just to be clear, unless you're keeping the flare above water, it's going to be those of you who don't have dark vision are going to be swimming in the dark.
That's why I'm double checking.
who doesn't
That's
have
why
dark
you
vision?
can press to digitate my shining bald head.
Who else? You don't have dark vision?
No.
Okay.
How about
No, I'll stay in the middle because I'm concerned about.
Because I'm up
That
at the
situation.
front. If he prestidigitates something on me to glow, or something,
his pants?
so you can make my pants glow, which will give light to Rhylind behind me.
Just
as
the
well.
nipples.
Chloe,
High beams!
get a
How many
stick to the
gold
glowing
people?
path.
My roo spotties.
Good luck editing this bit.
Oh, we're not editing this bit.
But yeah, so if you make like my pants glow,
yeah.
that way everyone can see.
Sure.
me
Okay.
swim ahead.
I hesitate to use the word surreal, but this is rather surreal.
Yeah. You're being led by a purple light emanating from purple pants underwater. So it's sort of like that weird
Diffuse purple light.
purple light.
Glory
Are
of
you
the
singing
earth.
also?
This tunnel is sexually confused.
Are you singing like
It's the glory of her heart
Yeah.
leading us to victory.
So please.
This would be the Russian national anthem. Harushnik Nevorsky.
As we're swimming,
Yeah, I'm like looking around on
Yeah,
the top
yeah.
of the archway and stuff.
Good
just
plan.
perception checking.
Roll some
I'll have
perceptions.
to learn the lyrics for Drink from Hailstorm.
I have it on my phone.
That is a 16.
16?
I got a 19.
natural 20.
doing?
And plus
I don't know.
It's
People
like
are rolling
the worst
perception.
time to get in that 20.
Sorry, I got it.
Perception.
Sorry, I got
Yes,
a
you
22.
can see me.
23. So I'm looking above and below.
We're perceiving.
Okay.
And in front.
I got a 7.
Looking for
And behind.
Good job,
Can't
Rhylind.
see properly.
25.
All right. Well, just so everyone's clear, basically the roof of this place continues on, and you've been swimming for probably a good 3 minutes now, I would say. It's quite a long hallway, and you almost don't realize it, but as you're swimming, you feel a current pickup
Oh,
Underneath
against or behind?
pulling you forward.
Good.
And about 30 foot ahead of you, because the light's not super bright, you notice that there's actually an intersection in the tunnel. However, the current is drawing you forward.
How far away are we from this?
About 30 foot.
Can we perceive anything more about these things before we hit them?
Can Abella and I perceive because we've got better vision in dark?
No, it's just an intersection.
There's no more water, right? Like the watermarks at a certain point on any of them that we could see?
Or any handprints in the moss or anything?
As before, the tidal mark has just risen and left a wet stain, I guess, slightly above.
Is it still wet?
Not especially, but the stone is a different colour.
Is the intersection in front of us, are they all the same height and appearance and
Yes.
width?
I'm really not wanting to go down the one that the current wants us to do.
So, yeah, I rolled a 25 perception to listen out to hear if there's falling water, like as if it's being...
You don't hear any water falling, you just feel a current.
Can I smell anything?
No, just that musty, terrible smell as before.
Cool. And is the current only seeming to go in one direction, or
It's pulling you forward at this point. You don't know if it's to the forward, to the left, forward, to the right, or just forward.
Would we be able to... Can we... Because you can normally tell in which way it's flowing from the way it runs along the edge.
Yeah.
From this distance, can either Abella or I, with our dark vision, see which of the three forks it's flowing down, or all?
It appears to be going down all.
okay.
Okay.
I reckon we just stick together and go down one of them.
I'm feeling one side rather than the forward, because the forward, if it's like the one we just came from, it'll be the middle. Middle's never good. You don't want to be able to be flanked. So go in one side. I would say to the group, I would say it's the right tunnel for no particular reason other than I just don't want to go down the middle one.
Yep. I'm up for a group hug.
Sure.
Group hug. It's pretty cold.
Group hug. Like a floating group. Like, we're all like synchronized swimmers, you know, when they hold out.
Yeah, you
hold
can all
hands.
be like that.
I'll give you a friendly
Wear a
handshake, but
starfish.
hugs are a little informal.
I'll give you a crisp high five.
So to the right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you all hold hands or other appendages, and
What else? No.
legs. You filthy bugger.
Feet. Yeah. Und penis at 9.
Sure.
The water's cold. There's not going to be much
Yeah.
to hold on to.
No, it is quite cold, and it is actually as you get closer to this junction, it is starting to get a little colder.
Oh, colder.
So
Well, we're all quite close. I'm still warming the water.
Interests me. Because water flowing would not be getting colder. You would be getting the water behind you, which was warmer. The water is colder despite it flowing out down.
yes.
Okay, cool. That's interesting. Just it's interesting.
It just means there's something radiating cold from towards us.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm registering that as an interesting thing.
So you turn right and you follow the very gentle current. It's still current, but gentle current to the right. And you then travel for about another minute.
Is it stronger?
It gets a little stronger the further you go down. But this intersection, you actually suddenly realize, those of you who have night vision, that it starts to head towards a sloping roof that's going into the water.
My pants are providing the light of a torch.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether we've got light or dark
Yes,
vision,
but
we can see.
that's only for a certain radius. Those of you who
Oh,
have
yeah,
dark-
okay, sorry. It's further away than...
Yeah.
Yes.
I get you.
So you're heading towards...
We're heading towards a no breathing room.
Yes.
Do we try and swim back?
I think so.
Yeah, now fuck
Sorry,
that.
guys, my bad. Let's not do this one.
That is, okay, let's starfish it on back the way we came.
Cool. Everyone roll me a strength athletics check.
Oh, hey.
21?
10.
18?
21 myself as well.
9.
What was your 10?
10.
Yep, that's fine. You're all good. Okay. Now, as you try to swim back the way you came, I need those of you who are laden down with materials.
I'm going to need you guys to do a Constitution save.
15 plus 5,
You've got
20.
advantage as well.
Yes.
16.
16.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
17 for myself.
18 plus 5, 22.
8.
Tom.
What's up?
Nezor, you are really starting to tire out from all this paddling. The weight is pulling you down. I'm going to give you 1 level of exhaustion, which means you now have disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay.
Just to be clear, this isn't normally how exhaustion works in the mechanics, but I'm just using this as a way to represent that you guys are tiring out after extended swimming. So yeah, you fail your con check, you'll take exhaustion.
Going forward.
Yeah, moving forward until you rest and recover the exhaustion point.
Yep. Is that a short rest?
Yeah, short rest.
But yes, you manage to swim back to the intersection where the current's not quite as strong.
I picked the last one. Somebody else?
Well, do we want to try the middle now, or do we want to stick with...
If that was like just working away, again, if it's the same as back there, then we will come out at a middle point, but whatever.
Like, I feel like it'll either be mirrored on the sides,
Yeah.
or...
Yeah. This is the logical one to go down. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Okay, middle it is.
Okay.
Still in our starfish.
All right. So yes, you bob down the. Are you actually going to motor yourselves? No, you're just going to follow the current. All right. Yeah. So you.
It's just
you decide
easier
go
to
down.
tread water than swim.
Yep. Great. So you go down the way that you came, not the way you came, the same direction as you were headed originally, and after about 30 seconds, you start to hear water tumbling off an edge. It's not particularly high, like it's not like a roar of a waterfall, but it's water falling from one level into another.
Yeah.
Is the current strong enough that we could get there and hold ourselves back?
Are we looking like a 10-foot fall?
Probably about 5 foot.
Into water.
Yeah, it's
Problem is, though, once we go over, we can't get back.
It's only
That's fine.
No. But if there's a bigger one further on, we can't
How
get
deep is it?
deep. Currently, it is about, you would guess, about 20 foot deep.
Because to go over a lip,
Yeah.
it's got to be,
a staircase.
well, not very deep. It's got to level out. So we might even be able to just about stand.
Look, I'm willing to risk this rather than trying to swim back and then try the third option, which we
May not be any better.
exactly. So I'd rather give this one a go and face whatever.
Everything else seems to be tending down anyway, so this seems to be the way
So
to get
we'll
there.
move to the edge of what we hear.
See how, like, let's see how it progresses. If the current gets to a point where we feel like we're being dragged along, it's getting quite bad, do we want to stop or slow down or attempt to fight?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty tired, so I don't know how I'll go.
How
but-
wide is
10
this?
foot. So you can fit 2 people.
So we wouldn't be able to sort of catch ourselves.
You probably
and I
could.
might
Could
be
you
able to.
squeeze
We
enough
just
people
sort of-
between it. You could, yeah.
Sort of like pin, in case like we're coming out and we see horizon.
The current is pretty consistent, and you decide to keep continuing, I imagine, and you actually start to notice that the light cast by Charlie's pants is actually starting to illuminate a staircase that is starting to head up towards a point. And very soon after that, you are standing about 2 foot of water.
Cold water.
Still cold, very cold.
Is it colder?
No, about the same as the other directions you were heading in.
But it colder than when we got in
Yes,
it.
colder than when you got in.
Okay.
I am very glad to have solid floor under my feet again.
Yeah.
As the staircase kind of levels out, you discover what's making the sound. You enter into what best could be described as, again, another sort of balcony. Well, it's not really a balcony, it's like a landing that runs the length of a room. And what appears to be some kind of archive. There are all these sort of stone tablet stands in the middle of... They're all submerged, I should add. But you can see ahead of you what looks like a hole that's worn its way through the roof and is starting to deposit an awful, awful smelling water. You also notice that there is almost a visible current sucking into a small doorway about the size of a person, not like one of the grander hallways behind it, on the opposite side of this this submerged room. You can see that the water is sort of pooling around and sucking down into that on the far side.
The landing that you come out onto has a stone balcony that runs the length of the room, and it has become...
Worn away probably by,
Centuries of water.
centuries of water.
Okay.
But yeah, this archive room, you would almost call it a library, were that it had books. It possibly did at some point, but not anymore. There's just this sort of stone
Shelves.
shelving. Yeah.
Are there any symbols of any kind? Like, is there a Dewey Decimal System for this library?
No. From what you can tell, there are 3 rows of what look like...
stone shelves. They are just submerged under water. You could probably walk on them with no problem.
So we can walk in the water, yeah?
you could swim over to it if you got...
Where we are currently standing,
Yeah.
are we on a balcony above this?
You are basically at the top level
Uh-huh.
of this. You can see a hole in the ceiling pretty close to the
Water
doorway.
coming
With
through.
water coming through.
Bad water.
Bad water. And underneath that, again, just poking out of the top of it is these 3 sort of long stone bookshelves is probably the best way to describe it.
Uh-huh.
You could probably stand on them and maybe have like a half-inch of water.
Uh-huh.
But where you currently are, there is actually like a physical barrier between you and moving forward. The water is running between the cracks of the
A balcony.
balcony, the stone balcony.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we walk to the edge, that's the end. We can't walk around
You could
the balcony.
You could walk to the left and
So
walk
what's
along
what's
the length.
what's towards the left of the balcony?
Okay, so you could run. If you walk
I
to
will
the left.
I will go up there and have a look.
Yeah, if you walk to the left, you discover that there is a staircase descending down
To that level.
to that level,
Uh-huh.
and the same is on the right. Anything else you'd have to go further and have a look at.
Okay.
Can I investigate once we get out of the water and whatnot? I want to do a check to see if there's any footprints, any tracks or anything heading down from
Well,
here.
no, it's still water on the balcony. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Still
To the-
submerged, like ankle height.
yeah.
On the balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've walked, so you basically, when you've gone down this tunnel, it's gone into a staircase that's gone up, and then basically there's about 2 foot of water running along the whole length. That's like the height of it. So you're standing basically now at the top of the archway.
So the water, you said we could see water funneling through.
Yeah.
Coming from a hole, but it's also running from the river that we were in. It's running down the stairs, presumably down into this.
But if it's running
No, the
down
water,
the
the
stairs
sound
and the
of the
water
water
level.
falling. Sorry, let me be clear. The sound of the water falling is coming from the pipe, the burst pipe. This is all level. So you are at the basically you are where you were swimming at head height before. You are now standing in that level of water. This room
So
is
where did
taller.
current come from?
The current is
Oh, it's
leading
flowing.
down.
All the water is flowing to this door at the bottom,
But that's submerged.
Yes.
and the water is flowing out there.
Yeah. The only reason you can see that is that this water is, I guess, less. It's a little bit cleaner, even though it's from a sewer. It's not been stagnant for.
Yeah.
It's still it's cleaner because it's had like a current running through it.
So
It's
we're
been-
going to need to dive down to get through the other door.
if you want to, yes.
Is there any other way out, or can we get up through the pipe?
If you wanted to, you could potentially get up through the pipe. You would have to.
So is there like a platform where the pipe is, or will we have to be swimming?
I'll investigate the pipe if it's accessible.
That's what I want
us
to check.
to
Like,
see if there's
if we
again,
can stand on something and investigate.
like handprints or whatnot to see if someone's moved through the pipe.
Does the pipe look like a recently broken thing?
It does look like it's been recently broken, but that recent could be like the last 50 years.
Okay. Could you reach the hole from one of the tops of the bookshelves?
Yeah, I mean, you would require a rope, and it's not directly above the bookshelf, but like if you threw a rope over and used a grappling hook, you could probably like
Manage it.
manage it. Yeah,
I'm feeling like
it's about 5 foot in the ceiling.
I
Could
feel
we
like I
throw
could like chuck
Nezor?
Nezor up there and him tie it off or something.
I don't know
would
how
probably
how
get one
heavy
of
is
the
Nezor.
stronger people to do that because I'm fucking rubbish at rolling dice today. But I haven't blood eagled someone yet, so I'm not in good.
Before we do that, though, what did I find out with my roll?
About the hole.
About the hole.
Yep, there is a collection of rubbish there, like that's caught on. Again, it looks like this hole probably just fell through. Like the ceiling was weak, and then it's a little difficult. Like you're not someone who works in sewers, but it from the look of the stone around it, it looks like it was just something that was like there was probably like a sewer line put in just above this, and no one ever dug down deep enough. But this area just happened to be particularly weak stone, and then over like 100 years of use, it just gave way.
Yeah. So my investigation was to see whether someone had recently
Yeah.
climbed through that hole.
Not that you could tell.
Nope. Excellent.
Reckon that means down.
Yeah. How deep is the?
No, it's 2 stories.
So the water is. How deep would I have to swim to get through the doorway?
To get through the doorway,
Yeah.
20 foot.
Okay. Like if Skairn divested himself of his armor and so forth, could he have a dip down, and were he to say go through and then come up the other side if there was an air pocket on the other side, and if there wasn't, would he be able to get back?
Well, that depends on the current, your strength, and also whether or not you're tied off. That would be what I would say.
Tied off.
You could
Tie
put
rope to you.
over it, yeah.
That's a good idea.
I
As
reckon
in,
with 20 foot, we have easily like 100 foot of rope between
Okay,
us.
well,
We can-
let's.
I have a 50-foot roll of silk.
I think most of us have 50 feet of some sort of rope. So, look, what I'll do, given that we've got plenty of time here, there's nothing particularly. If we swam out to one of the bookshelves and sat on the top, which would have us in no more water than we currently are, then I take my armor off so I can swim unencumbered and leave my backpack and everything. Tie off a 50 feet length of rope, say my silken rope, give it to somebody and say, if you feel two good tugs on this, pull me back, please. Because there is no air here and I may be drowning. And then I will swim through and come out the other side and just to see if there is an air pocket.
Okay, cool.
Yeah?
All right.
Sounds good.
Okay, so the first thing I'd like you to do is to just designate who's holding it.
Charlie. And Rhylind.
Okay.
Together.
Roland is
And
vastly
Roland.
stronger than Charlie.
All right.
It's all show muscle.
Okay. Okay. Both
strength.
Rhylind and also Charlie.
Yep. Okay.
All right, the next
To
thing
make
I'd like
sure
you to
that you
do
don't,
is
like, get
an
sucked
athletics
down.
check, please.
That is it a save or a check?
It's a check, just
Okay,
to
so
make sure that you're
8.
hitting to it. Okay. I'm going to say that's enough. It's not a particular.
Not a good dive, it's just a dive.
Yeah. You get in there. Yeah. No, that's
Kind of slap the small of your back as you jump in.
yeah.
Cold. Right.
Yeah.
Could you give me benefit on
Okay. So you're diving down now, and then you see this doorway, and it is definitely a people-sized door. You, with your dark vision, I imagine you have, you can see that it enters into a small, I guess the best description would be like an antechamber. It is completely submerged, but within it appears to have what you would consider to be like a plinth with a reader on it. It's a circular room, but the plinth is raised on an octagonal step. And it looks like there is 5 panels, but they look like the wall was hewn around them. On the far side of this room, you can see a metal grate.
how far away is it from me?
It's a good 10 foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a small antechamber. It's not.
Right.
There's no other way out.
Can I do an investigation check on them?
Sure.
To learn. I'm wanting to discern the differences between them and any sort of recognizable pictures or patterns in them.
Roll me a check.
It's a 15 plus investigation, 16.
16? Okay. So I'm assuming you're going to look at the first one on your left. Okay. So the first thing that you gather from the one that's on the left, although you can't understand the language, it would almost be like bullet points. Maybe a set of rules or a code of some kind. Do me a con check, please.
Constitution.
Yes.
5.
You were running out of air. You were going to have to surface.
I'll
those.
come back up.
Sure.
is there any air pockets in this room?
No, it's completely submerged.
I have an idea with that one though, because I have a jar.
Cool.
So what I'm going to do is swim back and describe to the others what I have seen. My next plan is to go in and start. So there was a plinth, yeah,
Yes.
and on the plinth there was 5 symbols, yeah.
No, the plinth is, it's almost like that's something you put a book on. But yeah.
Book. I have a book.
Nothing seemed to strike you as particularly magical about it. I don't think putting a random book on there is
No, I have a book. It was magic.
Yeah.
Oh, no, hold on. Because the magic books were from the Wizard's Tower,
Yeah.
which was connected to this by the portal.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's try.
Try it, but
Sure.
Give it a go. I'll basically. So I'm going to do. You may not like this. I'm going to ask one of you two to hold the bone bits from my jar.
that's cool.
Cool, danke.
Are they halfling bones?
Or possibly gnome bones. We don't know.
It's unknown.
So I now take the empty jar, turn it upside down to keep an air pocket inside.
Sure.
And then when I'm getting out of breath, I breathe out and sort of I get another lungful of air basically out of
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Farts.
You know what? It's better than no.
He's already breathing.
It is better
Literally
than
sucking
no.
farts.
It is better than no air at all. Hold the rope. Good judgment. So I swim back and I take out my red book with bullet in it because I'm weird. And I put it on the podium.
Sure. Just make sure
First, before you do that, do me an
No, this
athletics
was a
check.
good one. This is 19. I
Great.
did a beautiful swan dive.
Excellent. No, you get right in.
Pokemon style, yeah.
You get in there and you put the book down and nothing happens.
This is not so good. So I swim back. I get another.
Sure.
So that didn't work. Any other ideas?
Anything you can do with you say there are 5 stone things on the wall, or parts of the wall?
I look. I go back and look.
Yeah.
Okay.
From the sounds of it, it sounds
checks,
like
please.
a cult gathering room that's been carved a specific way to be. Yay.
Why are you laughing, Skairn?
He rolled a 1.
Okay.
Oh no!
You take 2
Oh
damage.
no!
Misjudge the dive and brain yourself on the top
On
of the
what?
door. On top of the door as you swim down.
Okay, so I hit my head on the door.
After that beautiful swan dive.
I know. I lost all my energy on the last one. And I go down and have a look and see if
Sure.
there's anything sort of that I might be able to manipulate or any instructions I might understand.
Check out the symbols a bit more.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you only saw the first one.
Yeah.
Nice. Roll me. I assume you want to move on to the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. An investigate check.
Natural 20 to follow the natural one.
Fantastic. So this one's a little different from the others. The one that you looked at before.
Yeah.
It does still have those sort of bullet point text, but in the middle it seems to have, it's almost like a hieroglyph, I guess would be the description. It looks like someone kneeling before what appears to be some kind of serpent face, but it's sort of built into the design of the claw etchings
Would it
around.
be a cultist?
It's indeterminate. It's just a figure. Like, again, these are very worn, very old.
Like say a cult of the dragon. I don't know.
Like the old area of the Cult of the Dragon before they were wiped out.
Maybe.
Probably.
Cool. So kneeling.
Yes.
Do I see any sort of large draconic figures in the room or any carvings or anything that looks
No.
like that?
Anything sneaky?
No.
I go back. Moya.
Sure.
We looked in this room already, didn't we? Can we
Yeah. What are the others doing at this time?
have a look at the bookcases? Like, just go under the water a little and have a look at the submerged bookcases?
Sure. But before you do that, what's everyone's passive perception that's not scanned?
13.
13.
13?
16.
16?
9 for Rhylind.
What was yours again?
13.
13. Okay. So no one got higher than 16? Okay. No worries. Just thought I'd ask.
Want to have a look at the bookshelf, see if there's anything
Yeah.
in those kind of first kind of levels, I guess, of the bookshelf
No worries.
under the water.
Cool. Okay, so you can jump in the water if you want. Roll
I'll
me-
just, like, I'm going to get rid of the stuff that I'm holding, like the gold bar,
Yep.
but keep, my armor. and
Sure.
stuff.
Roll me a strength check, either way, to avoid being sucked down into this section.
That is a 15.
15? Roll me disadvantage.
No
then.
disadvantage. Fuck. Just if I know from the
I
dice.
think you rolled the dice with disadvantage.
That is a 16.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Okay, so so you dive under the water and you see what appear to be like a collection of it's like clay rubble all over this bookcase. Like where the books would be, there are like these sort of ruined looking tablets, I guess. Like there's just clay silt all over it. There's nothing here that looks like organic matter. It's just silt and maybe a bit of rock and rubble here, and it's all been built up on these shelves. But it has also sort of been swept away. Like you can even see it sort of just ever so slowly being trailed towards the edge and sort of disappearing. But yeah, like there are one or two tablets that are still quite weighty that are kind of either at an angle or flat on the thing, but they're so worn down they just don't have anything on them. Anyone else want to do anything while Scan's diving?
I'm holding on to the rope, so.
Sure.
Well, I'm holding on to the rope.
While he's
so-
doing that, I'll do a perception check. I want to just check the roof, see if there's anything carved into the roof. Just do a
Just a general
look
room.
around, see what sort of room we're in.
Cool.
Look out in case, a poop monster attacks us
Sure.
or whatever. Like, just that sort of stuff.
Slightly more
check.
worried about kobolds in the sewers.
Yeah, they should be worried about Charlie Roughhouse.
We'll set them on fire.
19.
19? That'll do it. Okay, so yes, around the lip of the hole where the sewer is, you see two little eyes peeking through, very close to the water. The only reason you notice it is that the water is actually being disturbed slightly around that, so where it would normally just sort of trickle in, it's actually creating a little bit of a pathway, and you can see two little beady eyes watching you very intently.
While holding the rope, sort of reach into my pocket, pull out a little bit of jerky, like sort of gesture to him, like, Don't hide up there. I can see you.
Okay.
I don't think you're supposed to feed the kobolds.
You never know.
Please do not feed the kobolds.
That was very Swedish. Please do not feed the kobolds.
Don't feed the kobolds.
Fine, I was referencing Bill Bailey, but okay.
It immediately lifts its head, looks at you, and then chitters and runs off.
Great, you've told them we have food.
Not anymore. And I eat the piece of
It's a very damp piece of jerky.
The damn, smelly piece of jerky.
It's been put
Damp
water.
sewer water jerky.
You must have an excellent constitution, Charlie.
I'm
You
going
must have an
to.
excellent
No, not
constitution,
great,
Charlie.
I'm going to. As it sort of runs away, Lady Rhylind, will you be okay holding this? And I'm gonna nick over to where the hole is and lift myself up.
All right, you'll have to do an acrobatics check to make that jump because it isn't directly above the stone.
As a 22, so yeah.
Yeah, suits me fine.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So I just. Doing like the strong man, but like.
Sure. Okay. As you do that, you see 3 armed kobolds with spears standing at the lip, looking at you.
And I go.
They roll me an intimidate check.
I really want this to work. I want that on the record.
While he's doing that, I'm looking up and going, hey, Ryland, what is he doing?
A 19.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They are pretty intimidated by this guy who goes,
So 2 of them immediately break and run, but one little brave kobold with a spear in hand jabs you with it. So I'm going to.
Tries.
How does a 14 go?
Not even close.
No. So the spear just whizzes past your head, and then he pulls it back and just sort of sits there like,
oh shit.
I'm going
what do I
to-
do now?
His face.
I'm going to, while holding myself with this hand, grab the little kobold
Yep.
and then jump backwards into the water.
All right, do me a grapple check,
Holding
please.
the kobold. Add my strength to that, don't I?
For a grapple check?
11.
Yes. 11? Okay, well, he rolled an 18 on the dice, so you reach out to grab him and he ducks and immediately scarpers backwards. But he's holding his ground. He's not like the other 2 who are about
60 feet away.
Yeah, they've just bolted.
They gown.
He's sitting there and he readjusts this little helmet that he's wearing, which actually now upon inspection is a Bashano, one of those shovel helms. However, it looks like it's been repurposed for the size of his head. He has to consistently, like with one hand, push it back up so he can actually see you.
Yeah.
He looks really pathetic, like really scrawny.
Not a good kobold.
Not a
So
good
he's-
kobold, just a
and
brave
he's still
one.
like.
He's got the
spooked.
spear and like spooked and like, there's a monster, there's a poo monster. I'm gonna...
I'll pull a bit of jerky out and be like, "Are you hungry, little boy? Little creature?"
That's not better.
Okay,
Not better.
I need you to roll me an intimidation check.
Are you
I
hungry?
need you to roll me an intimidation check. Not that you mean it to be, but
It's fucking terrifying.
That's a 13.
okay. Well, he rolled a 2, so
Fucking.
on this thing that just came out through the thing and just
Are you hungry?
yeah, this horrible smelling creature has just pulled itself through the hole that they probably guard and made this horrible noise. He tried to stab it, he couldn't stab it.
He tried to grab him.
Yeah, tried to grab him, he avoided it, and then goes, "Are you hungry, little kobold?"
No, I think his words were little boy.
creature.
Little creature. He drops the spear and bolts,
How far?
screaming.
I get an opportunity attack.
Sure. Are you going to be attacking him?
Yes, but it's
Okay.
non-lethal damage.
Sure.
+7. 26.
Okay, so what are you doing?
I'm non-lethally punching him in the back of the head. That's run.
Non-lethally.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's...
But all of the non-lethal shit you've done to him so far has been fucking terrifying.
Just to clarify as well,
Get him.
because Charlie's not an adventurer or a warrior or anything, all his damage is non-lethal, like he doesn't kill. So don't expect him to be killing monsters. Yes, but this isn't a monster. So
Keep hooking up with these do-gooders.
It kind of is.
it's not.
It's by definition, it's a monster.
Sure, but as in like he's not going to beat a human being to death. He's a prize boxer. He's not going to beat someone to death.
Yeah, if it happens, it's accidental.
Yes.
If it happens, which it often does.
9 points of non-lethal to the back of the kobold.
Okay.
So it's
The helmet goes flying for a start, and he stumbles forward and clutches the back of his head, and still scarpers. Unless you're planning to do something else with it.
I'm going to his movement speed will be what, 25 feet?
About that, yeah.
I'm going to
Pursue him!
pursue the little kobold
Sure.
and grab him again.
Okay. It better be a good roll.
18 plus strength 3.
Well, yeah, no, that's enough. I'm gonna say you grab him by the legs.
Yeah, just like, and then I'll sort of like,
Hold him by the legs.
What is
as
it with
come.
you and holding little people?
What are you, a sizist?
and then because he's unarmed, I'll sort of like pick him up and go,
And just shake your head at him?
just like, no.
Punched him in the back of the skull! No!
This kobold is probably terrified.
He's now transitioned to Dara Bria in my head. I just... No!
Okay.
Come, little child!
So I want to just quickly describe what this kobold is going through right now. He has been grabbed by the monster man in the bottom of the sewer.
And held upside down after being beaten around the back of the head.
Yeah, so he's disoriented, upside down, and has a giant creature
I'm
shaking
like
his head.
6'4",
He does,
6'5".
Still, for a
Yeah.
kobold, that's massive.
yeah.
Terrifying.
That would be like you coming across like a dire bear. It just defecates.
That's fine. It's shit on
Fortunately,
itself.
no, you're holding it by its legs.
Upside down.
Oh, there you go.
And
Nobody else.
Well, you're in a sewer.
makes a piteous
and-
sound.
Well, you're in a sewer.
I'm going to, like, basically, when he does that, I'm going to go from carrying him like this to sort of holding him out,
That is unwise.
so his arms are like, like holding him so his arms hang
Be
over
descriptive
like
because this is an
My
audio
apologies. I
medium.
put my arm around under his arms, so he's sort of like hands in the air,
He's holding him the way you don't hold a baby.
pretty much.
So he's upside down?
No, not anymore. He's right way up.
Yeah.
But I'm holding him.
Okay.
His arms are looped over your, like you've got your arm in his armpit.
He's effectively in an arm and headlock.
Yeah.
Yes. So his arms are sort of wedged above his head. Quite.
You've got your forearm around his rib cage.
Yep. And then the other hand is holding his little shirt. Is he wearing a shirt?
He's wearing like really piteous like leather armor, but
Yeah.
it looks like it was probably made from like a cat.
Yeah, I'm holding that so that if he tries to squirm out of my arm lock, I've got his shirt. And then,
Might want that.
this is.
I really, really piteous.
You said surreal earlier. I feel this is much. Is his pan still glowing?
Yes. That's the other thing. Imagine
A
if
glowing purple poop monster.
I'm going.
Some good inspiration for a
Puts you in
song.
the back of the skull, then turns you upside down. I think defecating is a great response.
I'm going.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could take you on a visual journey. Imagine, if you will, a hole in the ground that you've been told to guard because sometimes things come up from it. And then all of a sudden, a mountain of muscle glowing purple just erupts and goes.
Strikes a
And then
pose.
Yeah, and then proceeds to beat you and I guess drag it screaming back into the hole that you came from.
I come back to the hole and go, oh, you smell, you need a bath. And then go
Into the pool
into
water.
the poo water.
Okay, well, while you do that, his two friends at the other end of the tunnel are looking at him like, no, he got Roger!
But I
I thought his name was David.
No, Roger. No, he has no name that you know of, but that's what I mean is that's effectively what they're doing. It's like,
Yeah,
We're gonna have to tell us then.
No, actually, what I'm gonna do, I'll make another acrobatics check
so you can do a dive.
to jump from the pipe and sort of like go. And
You could
land.
probably swing from using the lip of it. If
and
you,
do like a cool.
it's going to be an increased DC because you're using
fine.
one arm. So roll good.
I did
Would you?
18.
No. You let go of the lip. You try to jump down and use it to counterbalance, and what happens is effectively the brick gives way and you just fall straight into the water.
That's fine.
You're falling into the water.
I'm going to.
Now, please do me a strength check so you don't get sucked under.
Yeah, it's not as good.
God, you're going to send this kobold to a watery grave.
That's a 5. Oh, hang on. A 7.
Okay.
As it goes past me, I try and grab it.
No, let me just.
I'm holding the kobold. I don't want him to die.
So you land in the water.
You're holding onto him as you go under.
Just to be
Let go, he can swim.
So, just to be clear, the glowing pants man of yore and legend now has landed in the water and is attempting to swim one-handedly, paddling towards the brick, and is slowly being pulled down under the water. As you do so, the kobold is shrieking.
Do I come back up?
Yeah, I think about that time you probably would.
Could I come back up and assist him
Yeah, sure.
with getting the cops to come up and... Oh my God! What happened? Never mind, I will...
There was a lot of screaming.
I'm sure there was.
There was a lot of
There
screaming.
often is when he's involved. Come on.
Ryan and I have just been sitting here like, what the fuck is going on up there? What is he doing?
Glowing pants, jumping, holding small crocodile person.
And I'll pull on the rope.
Sure. Look,
And I'll pull on
Pop
the rope.
myself up and go, look what I found.
Does anyone speak whatever this thing...
Draconic?
Yeah, would it be? Yeah, you would.
I would speak Draconic, would I not?
you were raised by humans.
I would
Like, you
speak
wouldn't necessarily know the language.
What does Frost think of the kobold?
Frosh is disgusted by it.
I'll give the kobold some jerky.
He is just like mouth shut, staring at you.
Mouth shut.
Mouth shut, going,
Eat this! Nom nom nom! Delicious poo jerky!
While he does that, I'll sort of offer it to Frosh. Like,
I think
Frost probably didn't want it
it's
either.
not actually poo jerky.
Please do not feed my dragon.
yeah, I don't think Frosh is particularly down with that. Sodden jerky.
I'm so tempted.
I haul myself out of the water.
So tempted to blow in the kobold's
Frosh is-
nose. So it goes, and the jerky in the
Oh, this poor kobold.
I'm not going to. But
I love that he characterizes himself as this moral being, and yet he would be just torturing this creature.
I'm not. The poor thing lived in a poo pipe.
And you just made it
I
worse.
didn't. I gave him a wash. I offered him some food. He seemed scared for some reason. Probably because of whatever's going on in here. And there's a poo pipe. It's okay. And I'll pet his head.
He's struggling fiercely.
You just wanted your own pet dragon.
Petting its head. Like, it's okay.
It's just freaking out.
Could I take the kobold from Charlie?
Could I
Charlie,
take
that's
the
you.
kobold from Charlie?
Oh, certainly.
Charlie, could I hold that for a second?
Okay, you're going to have to roll an opposed strength athletics check to see who wins the grapple.
Okay, no, he beat that.
6
So
plus
as Charlie attempts to hand over the dragon, sorry, not the
Kobold.
dragon, the kobold.
That's racist.
This kobold just wriggles out of your grasp, and you guys are standing on the yeah. He lands in the water and just starts backing away from you to the edge of it, and then looks down at the water and looks back at you, and just kind of.
I'm going to.
It drops to its knees and puts its hands in front of itself, kind of like plaintive, like
20 persuasion,
Yeah.
I guess, to sort of de-threaten myself. So I'm like, oh, no, we don't mean you any harm. Like, it's okay.
I feel like you're the wrong person to do this.
I rolled a bloody 19.
I feel you should be at disadvantage for that because of the previous everything else you've done. So please roll me disadvantage.
Okay, that one's a 14. So,
Okay.
But I'm
No, that's fine. I'll roll.
like, it's okay. You know, I do apologize and sort of lower myself, lower my voice, de-threaten myself.
Okay. It gulps a few times, looks at all of you, and I imagine that's basically when Nezor comes out of the water at that point.
Who's this?
I just laugh.
Because at this point you're greeted by this spectacle of this giant man in glowing purple parachute trousers. Because let's be honest, they're parachute trousers.
Oh no, they're strongman skin tight trousers.
Rubbish.
Kobold cowering in fear to Charlie being
As-
like, no, I love you.
Does he sort of at least chill a little bit?
He was put on edge by the sudden emergence of a halfling from the water, but he's sort of like, he's still making that plaintive gesture, but he's like, rather than his eyes like beating between each of you, he's sort of, it's more relaxed but still on edge.
I'm gonna then sort
and
of
he's sort of
sit
making
down.
these like growling like,
I'm gonna like go from sort of kneeling and crouching to sitting down with my hands on my laps, and then again sort of talk to him.
Does anyone else do anything? By the way,
I am watching amused.
Yes.
Again,
Yeah.
so 14 again.
Wait, I actually did want to do something. You do your thing, but then
And I'll pull out some jerky and sort of.
how much? Never mind.
Hey, well, sorry, I'll keep the piece of jerky that I had, but I'll sort of again, while sitting down, offer it to him slowly.
Okay, he looks at the jerky, looks at you, looks at your giant hands, looks at your purple pants, looks over at the giant dragon lady, stares at the giant dragon lady, looks at the halfling, looks back at your jerky, looks back at you.
I have a small dragon.
He
Oh! I'm gonna put the jerky down.
In the water.
yeah.
Acrobatics check.
Oh god, what's he gonna do? Suplex the fucking kobold?
So that's a 26 to jump back up into the pipe.
9.
Like, and grab his helmet. His little shiny helmet for him and drop back down.
Yeah, you did turn him upside down. Fair enough.
So I'll grab his little helmet.
It's gonna take you a little bit to get that because you have to still climb up.
I was
So while
actually
you're
gonna
doing that,
check. I was
Yeah,
going to
do
look
that.
at the tunnel and make sure there's no kobolds up there. Because Steve and Mike are looking at what happened to Roger.
see, I would have thought they would have run away, but I just rolled a check to see if they were brave, and they were brave. So they're both at either side of the hole when you pop back up, and they just go and turn and run.
I'm gonna pop up and go,
A logical decision.
pop up, go, hello, grab the helmet, grab his tiny little spear and drop back down. And
I want another one.
so get back to the thing and put his helmet in between the two of us.
He is still very freaked out, and he's very much edged to the corner of this thing, looks at the helmet, looks at you, and does that really quick grab and pull back, like back to his chest, and sort of like
Don't
moves
give it
it
the spear.
moves it around counterclockwise around his hands, like touching the edge of the helmet, and then puts it back on his head and tries to look official and stands up and starts making like baby talk. What you want?
So do I understand what you say?
He's speaking in broken,
so do I
broken
understand what you
comments.
say?
What you want?
Oh, can we ask him? Hello, Mr. Dragon thing.
Fish.
Mr. Fish.
Hi, fish. No, hello. Did you see a person, and I just to myself,
Yeah.
come through this pipe today?
The kobold shakes its head.
Is that a no, you don't understand me? Or is that a no, you haven't seen him?
No.
That's not
You see, I gave you two options, and
What?
right.
This is
What's your name, little kobold?
Right.
No.
Yes.
That's a nice name.
No.
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 Is it more of a meow or is it like a meow?
It's like NARL. No.
Okay, no. No. Okay, no. Would you be able to tell us what you're doing in the pipe? Oh, God, you're guarding part. Guarding from what?
Bigs.
Were there any bigs today other than
Many bigs.
hooded big?
No, many bigs.
Not up there. Down here. Bigs down here.
No guard.
Aye.
Bigs in Kobold home.
Yes.
Hang on. Do we still have someone's armor that someone took off?
Yeah, I haven't put mine on yet. But
From what I'm saying, what I'm thinking is news go back to Emily and people are invading
gonna
the
say-
Kobold home.
Should they be there?
No.
no.
Do you want us to help you get them out for you?
Bigs help Niall.
Bigs help Gnarl. Bigs help Kobo.
Maybe.
He eyes you very suspiciously.
I make a persuasion.
Offer him his spear.
He snatches it out of your hand and then starts pointing it at you all.
We help.
Persuasion.
We
that's why.
help now.
Oh.
So that's a 13 on persuasion to be like, yes, we're going to come up and help.
Narrows his eyes at you all.
No, trust Bigs.
You don't need to trust us. We can just help you.
How many bigs today?
No big today.
No big today?
No.
Only us?
You confuse.
Are we bigs?
You big.
Okay.
We will help now
No.
cause I scared you. You poopy your pants.
You hear snickering from upstairs.
So he understood you.
No! Doesn't really go red because he's kind of a scaled creature.
Kind of a green
But
creature.
he looks very uncomfortable and unhappy that you brought that up.
It was good. It's scared big.
Do we want to call his friends down?
Steve, Roger.
Do you want Big to get your friends?
Do you want your friends to be
I
here?
would like at this point to make a perception check on whether or not Roger and Steve fuck off. I assume they're back at the hole, but
Yeah. No, they're just watching, but they do not seem happy about that prospect at all.
yeah, go get them.
No, they're like, no, don't get them.
Does he look? Does he check up? Does Niall look up at Steve and Roger going, and they're going, no.
No, they're kind of,
Say no to the bigs.
yeah. No, they're showing Kobold solidarity by not rescuing them, just sort of like watching as they die, I guess, is the sort of thing.
But that's what I'm asking now. Does he want me to go get his friends for him?
No, he's like,
No.
no, they're shaking their heads like, no, please no, no. And Gnarl's like, kind of thinks it over for a second, like,
Take him down with me.
No. Gnarl. It's hurting our head.
and he readjusts the helmet.
Oh,
No, want big skull.
Yes.
No,
Big
want
go.
big
Yeah.
skull. No.
But he wants us gone. No other bigs here. He wants us gone. No other bigs here.
Yeah. No, I'll show Big's way out.
I'll get out, Niall.
Just points up.
Yeah, this is not helpful. Niall, show us way. Show Big's way.
Why?
I'm gonna reach.
Then Big's leave.
I'll reach in my bag.
He thinks about that for a moment, like, it's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Take Biggs out, then Big's not here.
You see Quack.
I don't like Quack.
I'll take a shiny copper piece.
He drops the spear and is like, gimme.
I sort of polish it in my hand so it's extra shiny and go, we not see him, you take us out and you get this.
He's like, yes. No, he doesn't actually say it. He's like reaching out with both hands like, yes, this is
I'll
great.
pull out a
And then-
second one.
And then there's chittering from upstairs and he looks up and then looks down and he's like, no.
I'll pull out a third one and go, one for you and your friends.
I look up at the hole.
They're discussing amongst themselves.
It's a good deal. You should take it.
He looks like he's being smart for a second. Like he's trying to like play the game. He's like,
Give 5.
and he puts a hand up. Unfortunately, it's only got 3 fingers apart from the thumb, and so he pulls one up extra from his others, and then thinks about it a moment, and then puts up a 6th one, and he goes 5.
I give you 4, or I throw you against the wall.
At that moment,
Wait. For the people who are playing at home, all the fingers disappeared.
the other 2 kobolds, I guess they make a noise. It's like a chirp, but it's sort of like well, good luck, guy. And
We're off.
Yeah. And Gnarl just gulps again, and
So his friends left?
no, like good luck with that. Like it's basically what they're saying.
Make a peace with this.
Yeah.
Okay, what I'll do then?
Yeah.
I'll go, I tell you what, since they're not helping you, what I'll do, I won't give you 4 of these little ones. I'll pull out a silver coin, and I'll go,
His eyes are like saucer plates.
and I go, 1 only for Now's friends, away, yes, and you take us out now.
Gnarl thinks a moment at the silver piece, looks up the other 2. They sort of have this conversation between themselves. Like he's like chirping at them, and they're chirping back. And he goes,
You give silver to Gnarl, copper to friend, and you see Quack, then Quack tell Gnarl what do.
I put the coins in my pocket and go, nope, grab him and throw him up into the pipe.
Thank you for listening to this episode of There Be Dragons. If you'd like to know more about the show, feel free to check us out at therebedragonscast.com for lore, cast information, and updates on our schedule. You can also find us at therebedragons.podbean.com and on Spotify for your listening needs. If Twitter is more your thing, you can also find us at TBDragonsCast. I am Matthew, your Dungeon Master, and Skairn Fellspar Thuferson is played by Joshua Walker. Rhylind Westfall is played by Keren Schlink. Charlie Roughhouse was played by Tristan Doust. Abella DeRosier is played by Angela Donlan. And finally, Nezor Valghoorlis is played by Tom Moore, who also acts as our sound recordist. There Be Dragons' original theme and scores are composed by award-winning composer Sean Tinian. You can see more of his work at seantinianmusic.com. Thanks for listening, everyone. See you next time.